Hey, hello, vinyl community. Thanks for dropping in again. Tony here. Tony's LPs are us. Cheers. Got my friend E here with me. He's not allowed to say anything because of copyright infringement on YouTube. If I press the button, he might start saying hound dog, and that'll give me a strike on copyright. So he's just going to stand here over my shoulder, just moral support, as he's done for the last 70 years. So cheers. Okay, what I'm going to do today is a segment of some of my rare albums. I have a lot of albums, as you know, but these are I consider them rare. Not too many people even know about them. And the three I have are of the top 10 in the history of the world as far as rock and roll. So it's going to be a real treat for you guys that don't know about this. But the three rare albums with OB strips that aren't Japanese, well, I'll get to that. But I'm going to start off with the magazine that they came with, which is Mojo Magazine, a British London-based magazine, which was established in November of 1993. It's still being published today. I believe their circulation's about 70,000 or something. And here in the States, I don't subscribe, but I'll buy them at bookstores, Barnes and Nobles. There's not too many brick and mortar stores anymore, unfortunately. But if you know Mojo, every month they come out. If it's still published monthly, they always include a CD. This is a good one. This is Blues Power. These are the original artists that folks like Presley, Zeppelin, Nirvana, the White Stripes covered. So on here you have Hound Dog Taylor, Muddy Waters, Bo Diddley, Sonny Boy Williamson, and great liner notes. Really nice content, really well done. So the CDs are something that they give away with each magazine. Here's a really good one that I just listened to the other day in the car. The Wall Rebuilt. This is reimagined, and it has the Mummers on it, Ralph Band, Ulysses Ark, Crippled Black Phoenix does Run Like Hell, Diagonal does Stop. This is Mojo. Oh, slipped out again. And let me just get that. The teeth break in these, and it just popped out. But these are pretty cool. So every magazine comes with this. This is Communion. This is alternative music. And not sure if this is Zeppelin and things like that on here. But there's a lot of bands I don't know about. Some I know the names, but I'm not familiar with the music. So it's a good way to learn about new artists. But this is the fun part of this particular video. Back in the day, maybe 15 years ago, I think the first one I'm going to show you came out in 2016 in July. But I'm going to backtrack on those. And it would come like this. It would actually have the magazine, OB strip in heavy plastic. And this, as you can see, is Bob Dylan. And this is featuring Bob Dylan's classic album, Blonde on Blonde. And this is a double vinyl. So you would get this when you bought the magazine. I believe in the States, they may have been $23, $22 with the LP. I know in England, I've seen prices of 14, 15 pounds. So this is the new double issue, Blonde on Blonde inside. And this has all information on Dylan. And what's cool about this particular these records, this one comes with a little treat, a little goodie, Milton Glasser's classic 1967 poster that was included in the first edition of Greatest Hits, Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits, and that's this. Here's that poster there. You can see that. Really heavy paper. And this has never been displayed. This is just kept in the album. I'll show you the album. This is a great one. Blonde on Blonde Revisited. And let me see here. Here's the gatefold. The artists and the tracks. And I'll read a few of them off to you. I'm not familiar with all of them, but I do know that this is a really good album. It's recorded well. It's engineered properly. It's balanced. It just sounds great. This has on it Malcolm Middleton doing Rainy Day Women. Woman, 12 and 35. My Darling Clementine does Pledging My Love. Steve Gunn, Visions of Joanna. Phosphorescent does I Want You. Promised Land Sound, Stuck Inside the Mobile with the Memphis Blues again. And it also has Absolutely Sweet Marie by Marissa Nadler. And Jim O'Rourke does Sad Eyed Lady of the Lowlands, which is the entire fourth LP. So it's an entire track, probably 16 minutes or so. Here are the records. These are nice because they're on gold vinyl. Right there. And you can see that nice label there. And it's nice because they did a good job. They replicated, reimagined the LP. Most of the tracks, I believe, are on here. And it's a nice way, like I said, to sample new people that you're not familiar with. And I know it's an honor for these bands to be included in these Mojo recordings, especially one of a Dylan. You know, everybody does Dylan, so there's thousands of artists that they could have chose to represent this Blonde on Blonde edition. Here's the heavy plastic that it comes in, heavy plastic sleeve. You can see that's probably, I don't know, 8 millimeters. It's very heavy. Here's the magazine. That's a great, picture of Dylan there on the cover from that same era, 67, 68. And so that's Blonde on Blonde. The next one I'm going to do is from 2010, and it's another classic because we just had a big celebration of a Beatle album not too long ago, a few months ago, which was Revolve. But here we have Let It Be Revisited by Mojo. This is a single album, gatefold. You can see the graphics, a nice picture of a somewhat Abbey Road, Across the Universe, Mother Mary, and a great green apple. This also came with an OBI strip, and I try to keep these in mint condition. I take them off and put them inside the jacket. And this is Let It Be. And I'll show you the record. And this is it's not an apple, but it's either a lemon. That looks like a lemon. And this looks like an orange. And these are really good. These really sound good. I love, sometimes I put this on rather than listen to the actual LP. I love to hear tribute bands that do the record, but do it in their own fashion, their own style. It's not just a copy. It's not just a complete cover of Let It Be, songs of Let It Be, songs of Dylan. Here you have the back jacket. Great picture, if you can see that. The rooftop. And there's the front again. And here's the gatefold. Has a nice replica of the album cover and some of the new artists that are on this record. And I'll just go over some of them with you. Well, I go over all of them. It's not that many. You can look these up, but if you're interested, John Grant does Two of Us. Dennis LaCorey, Dig a Pony. Phosphorescent does Across the Universe. Beth Orton does Me, I, Me, Mine, Dig It. C.W. Stokin does Maggie May. Wilco Johnson, Way After 909. Judy Collins is on here. The Long and Winding Road. Peter Malari, For Your Blue. That's a good one. And the Jim Jones Review, Get Back plus others. So you could see that, and you could read that right there. There's that. So that's really cool. But the last one I have was really exciting because we just had a 50th anniversary celebration of this album. And you all know what it is at this point. 50th anniversary, one of the biggest albums of all time. Been on the charts since 1973, that type of thing. And here we have the OBI strip for it. And that's Dark Side of the Moon. Here you have Pink Floyd Speaks, Dark Side and Beyond. And this is the exclusive Mojo release. And this is Return to the Dark Side of the Moon. Mojo proudly presents Pink Floyd's classic 1973 album, Reimagined. And this is really fantastic. And like I said, I put this on as much as I would put on the original. I love hearing young bands, fresh bands giving their take on classics. Some of these people in these groups weren't born when Dark Side came out, or they were very, very young. There's a crater. Here's some of the artists right there. And I'll go over some of the songs and the artists with you. I'm not, like I said, I'm not familiar with all these artists. I did pick up a few of their albums because I like their vibe. And that's what these are good for. It's a sample. And if you like the style, you like the, their take on it, you may want to hear the rest of the records, go back, listen to them on YouTube, maybe buy the records later on. So side one, Gallops does Speak to Me. One Broken Garden does Breathe. The Oscillation, On the Run. Wolf People, Time. The Last Hurrah, The Gig in the Sky. And then on side two, of course, we have Money. It starts off side two. The Pineapple Thief. Doug Paisley featuring Garth and Maud Hudson, Us and Them. Matt Berry does Any Color You Like. Neville Skelly does Brain Damage. And Of Arrow Hill does Eclipse. So right there. And comes in a black sleeve with a European cut. If you guys know who do imports. Nice black sleeve. So really happy to get these. They're not easy to come by. You'll never see them in the wild. If you do, it's amazing. Someone dropped dead and they just said, let's get rid of all this stuff. But I hope that doesn't happen to us. What do you think, Elvis, right? Yeah, he says, yeah. And here's the OBI, which I keep inside the sleeve. So, cheers. So I hope you dug that. Like I said, there's also a couple more. I'm not going to talk about them because I don't have them. I know of one more. I'm not sure if there's more. My research just had lists and lists of the CDs that they gave out, which I have a ton of. And not many albums were even maybe brought overseas. Maybe they were all sold on the magazines in England. But I was lucky to get these at Barnes and Nobles when I was shopping for the magazine at the bookstore. And my one of my features I do on most of my segments is an OG pressing that has what I think is really good sonics, would really make your stereo sing. You'll be proud to play it. It has some audiophile qualities. And because we did Dylan first, I'm going to do a Dylan album this week. And that's Blood on Planet Waves. And this is Planet Waves, a Columbia reissue. This was originally on Asylum. And the back is a little different. The back is gold. And it's a smooth cover, smooth jacket. But regardless of which copy you got, the tapes were so good on this that they sound great. This is a Columbia. And I'll show you the original pressing, which was Asylum, when Bob went over to Asylum. And that's this. That's the back. This is with the band. As you can see, the band is back. Bob, Planet Waves. It has the liner notes. This has the hype sticker, which they put right onto the actual paper. This is a rough paper, similar to the Eagles' Desperado, I believe, or the Eagles' first album. With a matte finish, and it's hard to keep clean. Unbelievably, this was a cutout. So I was able to get this as a cutout. Here's the back, the original back that was taped on that, just like the Columbia, but the Columbia is on the jacket. So you get that gold back. So I kept that. And here's the record. Mint copy. Dylan is right up front. He's in front of the mic. He's on a stool. He's got his guitar. He's sitting right there when you play this record. And of course, if you don't know this record, this has On a Night Like This. Going, Going, Gone, Tough Mama, Hazel, Something There Is About You, and Forever Young, which is, play that at people's birthday parties, right? And another revisited Forever Young on side 2. It has Dirge, You Angel, You Angel, You, Never Say Goodbye, and Wedding Song. So this album, if you're into Bob Dylan, Bob Dylan, this has four tracks at least that were on the radio, and which is a lot to say about. Most of Bob's stuff for deep cuts, but he does have top 10 AM records that were played. This is 1974. The liner notes are cool, I believe. Moonglow. This looks like a Joni Mitchell cover, which I can't find it right now without my shades on. But this was recorded November 5, 6, and 9. Village Recorder, West LA engineer, Bob Fabian. Special assistants, Robbie Robertson. With the band, this looks like a Joni Mitchell cover, but it might be a Dylan cover. Dylan did his own work as well. Same style, so I'm sure this is a Dylan cover. But there you have it. And I hope you like this segment. It's a quick one. And just thanks again for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, hit the like button. I just want to say thank you to Rachel of Rachel's Ghost. She has a great channel. She does a live feed in the mornings, usually 9 to 12 and our time in the U.S. But it's really fun. A lot of vinyl community people jump on. She invites people on. She really helped me out with getting people to learn about us. I was a new kid on the block. I had to get people to help me set up. I always wanted to do this. So thanks again, Rachel. And thanks again, everyone else out there. Hope you liked this segment. Please leave some comments. If I made any errors, please excuse me. These aren't scripted. I'm basically doing them from memory. I do a bit of research on the album, but most of it's done from memory. So keep rocking. And Tony's LPs are us out. And me and E say thank you. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night. Talk to you soon. Ciao. Thank you.